Coming up on Evening Edition, people from all over the Midwest came to see President Trump in Murfreesboro. Plus, Carbondale Halloween comes back from the dead. And the suspect who sent a series of bombs to high-profile politicians arrived in court today. Live from Southern Illinois University, you're watching River Region Evening Edition.
A death investigation is underway after skeletal remains were found in a wooded area north of Carbondale. Good evening, I'm Devin Dom.
And I'm Jacob Gordon. According to the sheriff's office, they received a call from the hunters saying suspected bones were found in the woods on North Marion Street, north of the Carbondale city limits around noon on Sunday. The sheriff's office is conducting a death investigation. Anyone with information about this incident is asked to call the Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
President Trump visited Southern Illinois Saturday, and many people were there to show their support.
People came from all over the Midwest to see the first sitting president to visit the area in 23 years. Now, I talked with some people that were in line for hours to make sure they got inside.
I think it's a historic event.
Thousands of people came to Southern Illinois Airport Saturday, and many were excited for President Donald Trump to visit the area.
Air Force One is wheels down.
I'm gonna go see my man, Donald Trump.
To see Trump, support my president.
Many hope that his visit will put
Murfreesboro, Illinois
on the map.
I think that everybody will see that he knows we exist and he just doesn't go to the bigger towns because not a lot of people know about Murphy and Carbondale.
Even though the president didn't speak until 5, many people lined up hours earlier to make sure they got inside.
And really wanted to come out and show my support.
President Trump spoke to the crowd about tax cuts, securing the U.S.-Mexico border, and putting people back to work. But he also praised incumbent Republican Congressman Mike Bost, who faces a tough battle for re-election this year.
He calls me, please, you've got to help my people. Other people don't care. This guy cares.
Sasha Shoemaker believes President Trump cares about the country's future.
what he is doing to protect the sovereignty of our nation.
And many others agree.
I respect him tremendously. He's come into office with an agenda and he's stayed true to it.
But at the end of the day, many were grateful for the experience.
Most of us have probably never been in the presence of a sitting president, so I think it's a great honor for our community that he is coming here to little Southern Illinois.
Now, the last sitting president to visit Southern Illinois was President Bill Clinton when he visited SIU in 1995.
While many people were excited about President Trump visiting, there were also groups of people at the rally who came to protest his speech. One of these groups was there to voice their complaints about American companies being shut down and being shipped overseas, a phenomenon that has tripled since President Trump came into office. Dina Warren lost her job at AT&T after 22 years, and she wants President Trump to stop pushing policies that force companies to move jobs out of the United States.
The CEO and all these money-grubbing people of the board just threw us all away. They didn't care about us. Now we've got a president who just keeps giving them more and more money to send our jobs offshore.
Other former employees of AT&T were also in attendance, as well as former employees of General Motors and Harley-Davidson.
Now, one local gathering of protesters was at the Flyover Social Info Shop in Carbondale. Not only did the Flyover host a pancake breakfast and offer materials for signs with people protesting President Trump's visit, they were also served the community by making naloxone packets. The packets that were designed to save a life during the opioid overdose were distributed for free in Southern Illinois.
We think that the solution to the crises that we're facing are going to be found at a local community level by people organizing themselves to address them. And so we're taking a first step today to address the opioid crisis in Southern Illinois by training people in naloxone administration.
Flyover hosts many events for the community, and now if you are interested, you can check out their Facebook page.
Another effect of President Trump's visit was pop-up shops. These Trump entrepreneurs were set up across town outside of Walmart, University Mall, and along Route 13, selling merchandise featuring President Trump. According to one entrepreneur we talked with, some vendors were barred from selling the merchandise on the grounds of the Southern Illinois Airport where the president appeared. And Democratic congressional candidate Brendan Kelly and grassroots-focused community groups joined for a door-to-door canvass on Saturday. They met beforehand in Carterville to discuss critical election issues that impact working and middle-class families. Jennifer Lee, the co-president of Illinois Democratic Women and Illinois Democratic chairperson Doug House, also advocated for Kelly.
These are the people that are behind the flood of money that's coming into our political system, that has corrupted our democracy and is dividing this country, and it has got to be stopped. That is the first thing we have to work on.
Get set, release!
Carbondale got its spook.
You can vote early in Illinois this week.
Now, it was a beautiful weekend and beautiful day outside today, but are we going to see these sunny skies continue?
I know it was so warm today. I want to see if it's going to be warm tomorrow. Let's check in with Zach.
All right, thank you very much, Devin and Jacob. Yes, it was warm today. It was beautiful today, but will it continue? Well, tonight it's going to go down to 50 degrees, tomorrow morning 51, and by midday it's going to get all the way up to 66. It's going to get even higher as the day goes on, though. But if you're planning on voting early in Illinois, I'd get out there pretty soon because there is rain on the horizon, not tomorrow night, but later on. And it's actually affect trick-or-treating. The night has actually changed. I'll be back with your 5-day forecast and more if you stick with us.
Thanks, Zach. With Halloween just a couple days away, the city of Carbondale got a little spooky this weekend.
Evening Edition's Patrick Cotto has more.
Get set, release!
Carbondale got its spook on by revitalizing Halloween this year. Friends and families made their way out this past weekend, and they believe that the event was a great idea.
I think it's really great that there are so many fun and family-safe activities going on. So I was excited about that.
I was excited that there was a Halloween celebration around my area, so I didn't have to go somewhere else to have a large event happening, and it was easier because there wasn't as much of a drive, and it was just exciting for me.
Carbondale Halloween included a 5K pumpkin race, a candy walk, and safe Halloween, as workers involved thought it was a good tradition for the city.
I think it's a great show that shows all of Carbondale how great it is and what it's doing, and I think that you'll see a very smooth celebration today.
Events took place in different parts of the city as many businesses joined in for the celebration.
Every program that did something for Halloween, we came together as a committee to make this a full weekend event for all of Carbondale and Southern Illinois.
After a good turnout, the city hopes to keep this tradition going. For Evening Edition, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Now, if you're planning on going trick-or-treating on Wednesday, you may want to check to see if it's been rescheduled. Some cities across Southern Illinois have rescheduled their trick-or-treating hours to tomorrow night because of the expected rain on Wednesday. We will have a list on our website and Facebook page.
Ahead on Evening Edition, one student is dead after a shooting at a North Carolina high school.
Plus, a suspect of a synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh arrived in court today. You're watching Evening Edition at 5. Welcome back to Evening Edition. One student is dead after a shooting at a North Carolina high school. Matthews police were called to Butler High School this morning. They say an armed student fired at another student in a hallway during a fight. Officers arrested the alleged shooter. Police say it was an isolated incident.
I don't really know what took place. I don't know how a young person gets a handgun in the state of North Carolina, but we are going to look into all of those things, and we will do our best to make sure that this never happens again.
Now, all sports practices were canceled for today.
The man accused of committing the worst massacre of a Jewish community in the U.S. was in court today. He faces 29 federal charges and prosecutors will seek the death penalty. Camilla Bernal has more from Pittsburgh.
My office charged Robert Bowers with federal murder and assault charges relative to the horrific acts of violence he committed at the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Handcuffed and in a wheelchair, the man accused of gunning down members of the synagogue made his first court appearance in Pittsburgh Monday. The alleged gunman, Robert Bowers, was injured in a firefight with police at the Tree of Life Synagogue Saturday and was released from the hospital shortly before appearing in court. The suspect faces 29 federal charges in the shooting death of 11 people. He was initially represented by public defenders.
We will have the opportunity to present evidence demonstrating that Robert Bowers murdered 11 people who were exercising their religious beliefs, and that he shot or injured 6 others, including 4 of whom were police officers responding to the shooting.
One of the rabbis leading his congregation at the synagogue Saturday morning told CNN about the moment he realized he heard gunfire and how he tried to save as many of his members as he could.
Quickly tried to usher them up to the front, out some doors in the front, towards exits or towards a closet, someplace that they could hide, someplace safe.
Despite the hateful act, he insists the synagogue will reopen stronger than before.
Tree of Life has been in Pittsburgh for 154 years. We're not going anywhere. I will not let hate close down my building.
In Pittsburgh, I'm Camila Burnell.
Cesar Sayoc was arrested Friday after federal authorities say he sent 14 pipe bombs to prominent Democrats. Sayoc appeared in court today for the first time. FBI Director Chris Wray said part of the reason Sayoc was found so quickly was because he left a trail of evidence for investigators to follow.
Based on their initial analysis, they uncovered a latent fingerprint from one of the envelopes containing an IED. There is also a possible DNA connection between samples collected from pieces of 2 different IEDs.
Investigators say Sayoc had a list of more than 100 people whom he intended to mail the explosive devices to.
Another suspicious package has been intercepted on its way to the CNN headquarters in Atlanta. The package was discovered at an Atlanta post office and was not delivered to the CNN offices. This is the third such package addressed to CNN in less than a week. Authorities say this new package is identical to the others found last week. And in health news tonight, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirms 10 more cases of a polio-like illness. The AFM is a rare but serious condition. It affects an area of the spinal cord and can cause paralysis. According to the health agency, 72 cases of AFM have been confirmed in 24 states this year. And as of Friday, 26 more patients are being tested. That increases the number of cases being investigated to 119. And the CDC has not identified the 24 states with confirmed illnesses.
It was a beautiful day across the river region. Is the sunshine and warm fall temperatures going to stick around the rest of the week? Zach has a look at your forecast next.
But first, on Wall Street, stocks into the day with negative results. The Nightly Business Report has more coming up next at 5:30.
Welcome back to River Region. I'm Zach Warhus with your weather update. As you can see, it was a beautiful day outside today. Lots of sun, very few clouds. This is SIU campus. If you have a photo that you'd like to send it to us on Facebook or Twitter at River Region. As we go, if we look at today, we were very sunny, 68 degrees, super warm, amazing temperature, 37-degree dew point. Humidity was at 31%, so nothing that we don't want there. A little decently strong wind, southwest 10 miles an hour, and our barometer's where it normally was at 30.10. We didn't come close to our high, which is actually 85 today. Our average is 66. Excuse me, the record was 85. Today we were at 68. Record was set back in 1950. We were above our low as well today, actually, too. If we can see, the entire region was super hot. Belleville was 71 degrees and sunny. The sun was everywhere in the river region today. Carbondale, Marion, and Cape Girardeau were all at 69, as well as Paducah. Evansville was the one outlier, being very, very chilly of 65, so very warm throughout the entire river region. If we look at the entire nation, we can see this heat wave coming up through Texas and Oklahoma is actually might be part of what is influencing the temperatures that we're having. This little green area, or this orange area right here is some rain that we're going to get later in the week, about Wednesday and Thursday. If we go to our color map, we can actually see that little heat wave we were talking about is right here along the Oklahoma, going into Arkansas, down into Louisiana. It's going to come up to us by tomorrow. It's going to be very warm, and we might actually see even more heat later on. When we go to tonight, we have clear skies and 60% humidity, so it's going to be a nice crisp evening. The wind is going to be about 8 miles an hour, and the sunset is going to be at 6 o'clock. Going in tomorrow morning for your bus stop, you can see it's going to be 52 degrees, partly cloudy with 10-mile-an-hour winds, so it's going to be a little bit chilly. That's actually the incorrect graphic there. I'm sorry about that. It's going to be a little chilly, and it's definitely going to want to have something to break the wind for the kids waiting at the bus stop. Tomorrow, it's going to go all the way up to 76 degrees as our high, so we're going to get very, very warm. Partly cloudy, very strong winds, southwest at 16 miles an hour, and the sun is going to be up around 7:14 a.m. Tomorrow night, there are going to be late T-storms, very late at night, strong winds, and actually you might be trick-or-treating tomorrow night. Check your city to see when they have moved trick-or-treating to because of the rain coming up on Wednesday. It is supposed to thunderstorm on Wednesday. If we look at our 5-day outlook, we can see that it is going to thunderstorm on Wednesday. 64 degrees is the high then. Thursday, the rain will continue, high of 55 and a low of 41. Friday, we're going to have a little bit of thunderstorms in the evening, and on Saturday the sun will peek back out from where it's been hiding. So it's going to be rainy, but we have tomorrow is supposed to be a gorgeous day.
And the weekend, looking at Saturday, there is a home football game, so hopefully the rain will stay away and the sun will shine.
Yeah, we can only hope, right?
Exactly.
I hope we have another weekend like we did this past weekend. We had all these Halloween events and it was so beautiful outside. I just hate that those trick-or-treaters are going to have to switch their days.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully they'll be prepared for it, though.
yes.
Bring your umbrella for sure.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
And now here's Ryan Davis with a preview of what's coming up in sports. Ryan.
Hello again, sports fans. Coming up, Saluki football breaks its losing streak. And your game of the week came to a nail-biting finish. Stay tuned to learn more. Despite showing strong resistance, the women's volleyball team fell to Missouri State, losing the season series. The Salukis took some heavy losses in the first two sets with the Bears, but it was the third set where the Salukis began to fight back. The Dogs led for most of the set and put down 16 kills. The Bears will respond and ultimately defeat the Salukis in the fourth and final set. The Salukis play tonight against Loyola. First serves at 6 p.m. and can be viewed on ESPN3. And the 6-game losing streak is over. Saluki football took their first win since week 1 of the season when they defeated Missouri State Saturday. The first half was very close as the Dogs led 21-14. It was the second half, however, that saw the Salukis offense explode for almost 30 points. Quarterback Matt DeSomer threw for 200 yards and rushed for over 100 in the 49-35 victory. The Salukis return home for this weekend against Western Illinois. And Saluki Cross Country made their return to Peoria for the MVC Championships and brought home some awards. Senior Josh Mayer won the men's race, marking the 12th time in school history an SIU runner has done it. The conference recognized Mayer's dominant season, naming him an all-conference selection as well as the MVC Cross Country Athlete of the Year. Saluki women's runner Megan Krolak was also named to the MVC's all-conference team after finishing 11th. As a team, the men tied for 5th, but lost a tiebreaker to Northern Iowa, and the women took home 7th. And it's been 7 years since Carbondale High School football scene's postseason action. Saturday not only saw the return to the postseason, but they hosted River Region's Game of the Week. The Terriers made it interesting, barely getting by Champaign Central 31-28, with a last-minute field goal by kicker and sole female on the team, Macy Davis, helping them secure the lead. Head coach Brian Lee had this to say about his players and their unexpected victory.
All the credit in the world goes to these kids who stuck it out for 4 years, who lost every game the first year that we said, hey, stick with us and good things will happen. They lost every game. And here we are at home in the playoffs with a first-round victory, and we're moving on. We're still alive. So credit to every one of those kids who stuck with it, every one of our young kids who came out, and all those kids who came before to help lay this foundation so we could have nights like tonight.
Carbondale's next game in the playoffs will be Cahokia Saturday. And Khalil Mack turned out to be no problem for the Bears in yesterday's game against the New York Jets. The Bears linebacker was sidelined with an ankle injury, but the defense smothered the Jets offense, who was without 2 of their top receivers. Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky was without his top wide receiver as well, but was able to connect with 6 different players in their 24-10 victory. The Bears head out on the road next week, visiting the Bills. And the Fall Classic wrapped up last night, and the Boston Red Sox were crowned World Series champions. David Price picked up his second win of the World Series, beating Dodger ace Clayton Kershaw, who lost his second start in the World Series. Kershaw was tagged for 3 home runs in the game, including 2 to Steve Pearce, who was this series MVP. This is the Red Sox 4th World Series since breaking Babe Ruth's curse. Now, I know I said last week I was all for the Dodgers, but I am kind of happy to see the Red Sox win. It was actually pretty exciting just to see all the joy in everyone's face.
Did you stay up and watch the game?
I stayed and saw some of it. I didn't stay because it started going pretty long, but I saw
Not
most
as
of the
long
ending.
as the other night.
Yeah.
It was like 7 hours or something like
7
that?
hours because they went into they went into a lot of overtime innings. So, yeah.
All right, Ryan, thanks.
No problem.
And are the warm, sunny skies going to stick around the rest of the week? Zach has a final check of your forecast next.
But first, as we head to break, be sure to follow us on social media at River Region News and check out our website for more local content. We'll be right back. And finally tonight, meet the proud new papas of Sydney's Aquarium. Same-sex penguin couple Sven and Magic. They were given a foster egg to incubate and raise after showing excellent parenting skills with a dummy egg. This little penguin weighs less than 1/4 of a pound, but the aquarium staff says Sven and Magic are doing a great job looking after their tiny chick. The couple's foster egg came from another penguin at the aquarium, which laid 2 eggs. Those are just precious, and at least we don't have snow on the ground like they do there. That would be really bad. Let's check in with Zach and see what the weather's going to look like this week.
Yeah, well, no snow, thank goodness. I don't think I'm ready for that. We actually have temperatures in the 70s tomorrow. That's our high, our low is 61, so that's a great window, I think. It's definitely going to be great t-shirt weather. But on Wednesday, that's when the thunderstorms are going to come rolling in, and it's going to rain all the way through Thursday. On Friday, we're expected to have cloudy in the morning, potentially getting some showers around the evening. Saturday, though, we're going to have a home football game, like you said, a high of 57, so it's going to be great football weather, maybe even tailgating weather, enough to wear your hoodie, go out there and have some fun. And because of that thunderstorm on Wednesday, lots of cities are changing Halloween trick-or-treating nights, so check your city website. It could have been changed to Tuesday instead of Wednesday, but I mean, it looks, we have some rain on the horizon, but I think it's going to be a good week anyways. You can never be wrong about Halloween week.
Also check out our Facebook page and our website. We'll have a list of all those cities on our website and Facebook page. So
Sounds great.
Check it out. All right, thanks, Zach. And thank you for joining us tonight. The Nightly Business Report is up next. I'm Jacob Gorda.
And I'm Devin Dahm. For Zach Boris, Ryan Davis, and all the students who work on Evening Edition, have a good night.